So in today's video, we are checking out two different BB guns, and specifically which one is the one that you should be getting for yourself, for self-defense and for even target shooting. Hello and welcome everyone to the Geek Tech Show. In today's video, we are going to be checking out specifically two different air guns and which one is the best one for you to actually get. Before we get started, make sure you become a channel member and subscriber, because this video most likely is going to get demonetized. Specifically why YouTube doesn't like the kind of things that show weapons. So if you want to support this channel and you like the content, make sure you do so by becoming a channel member. So first of all, the first one we are talking about is the T4E .43 caliber. Realistic looking, beautiful looking, and at the end of this show I'm going to actually rate this and tell you which one is the one that is for you to get and which one is the best one for you, and of course review them as well. So the second one we're going to be checking out is the Byrna HD. This one uses .68 caliber, which is much larger. This one doesn't have the blowback action, and it's also awesome. So let's go ahead, check it out, both of them hand to hand, and see which one is the one for you to get. Walther PPQ versus Byrna BB guns. So really comparable, two different guns, and this is the case for it. I'm not really fond of the actual case. Cool. Opening this up, you get a case that looks like this, but there's nothing in here. Why is that? Pretty much because the case is just not good. I don't like this case, and this is just so much better. So this is an actual gun storage case made by Pelican, and you can see the same exact gun that you use here and different kinds of ammo that you can use as well. This one already pre-loaded with a bunch of them right here, and the CO2 canister as well. The canister is right here. The gun is right there. And why is this the ultimate, I would say one of the ultimate weapons that you can buy for home defense and stuff like that? Pretty much because it looks so real. Not only that, this is exactly what official military and police use to train the recruits. Because not only it looks real, it functions as if it is a real gun. It has an actual blowback action. Now, you gotta be careful when you do this, because your hand accidentally can get jammed in here, piece of your skin. That's gonna hurt. Other than that, it's pretty good. So just be careful when you do this. Here's the blowback action. Also, right here, the sights as well. But look how realistic this whole thing is. Very realistic. You can't even tell if this is real or not. In fact, this is almost identical to the original BB gun. So what separates this from an actual gun? The markers right here, it says right there, and right here that this is not a toy. Pretty much this warning, but a real gun doesn't have this. This would be all blanked out and missing. In fact, I think it's actually illegal for you to scrape this off. Some people really dislike this much, but I don't think you are allowed to modify those things at all like that. Although it is your property. So it loads up like this. You stick it right back in here. And when you put this in, it's all like clear. It really loads up and everything, and you have to press really hard for this to go in. Now, it does have its drawbacks. It's not the easiest thing to load up and everything. But that being said, it also has one of the most annoying features in here, which is right inside here is this thing that you have to remove. And lo and behold, this is not easy for you to take out at all. It comes out, but the way about to do this, it is just a nightmare to open this up. So I'm trying right now to get this to open. You have to like press on it really hard, and there is a special way for you to get it out. There we go. And I got this thing out of here, and I meant it. It's like a nightmare to get this out. So why do you need this? Pretty much it has a key in here. This key, when you move this down, is actually being used right here to make sure that the canister punctures, and you have to adjust it. Unfortunately, I wish there was a better way for them to do this, because this is just the hardest thing to get out of here, and it does take a while. Once you figure this out, you have to put a little bit of pressure in here and just press on it. And every time you do this, it's the same exact thing. It's like you figure this out, but you really don't. It's kind of like put your finger in there and you press on it, like put a lot of pressure into that one specific spot. And does it come out? Yes, it will come out. But I hate the way this is made. This is the only thing I super dislike about this. Other than that, once you figure this out, once you put the canister in here, you load this up, this is a pretty good weapon. And apart from the safety concerns, like I told you, getting your hand jammed in here and everything, it's decent. Now you see, it doesn't come in right away. You have to hit it for this to go inside. And then it's ready to be loaded. So this is one of the ultimate home self-defense weapons you can get. Realistic looking. And I believe this is the first version of this. There's actually second version, which I think the second version, I'm going to be checking it out and seeing if this is any better than the first version. Over here, it does have a little bit of layer in case you want to put right here your own weapons and specifically accessories right there. This double safety feature right here. When you press on here, it's going to shoot. And yeah, keep your hand off the trigger, except there is nothing in here, so there's nothing it can potentially shoot out of this thing. I do like, you can see right here how it actually looks, realistic, real, and with a few negatives to it, I would say this is like an 8 out of 10 because of two different things. One is the loading mechanism that is hidden right here, which is so hard to get out. Two is the safety concerns. As you're loading this up, it doesn't go in very easily, which is a minor thing, but the biggest problem is actually right here. You see this hole here? Right there? You can accidentally get your skin jammed in here as you close it with your hand, and that's going to be painful. So those are my concerns about this gun. It's one of the most realistic BB guns that I own, and well, police and military do use this as a paintball practice for a lot of their missions. So if you want to get the most awesomest BB gun that is legally for you to own in the United States for self-defense and for practice, this would be the one to get. So let's compare this to the Byrna. How does that actually versus a regular paintball gun? for you to use. What is the biggest difference and drawbacks? First of all, the case itself. I'm not too fond of the Byrna case. It just doesn't look good. I don't like it. But it does store everything inside of here. So what is the difference between this and the PPK? Well, pretty much the PPK itself is a pretty decent gun. It really is. It's a good gun too. It's metal, but it is more heavyweight. Taking down with the canister itself and how hard it is for you to load this up and everything, and the noise it makes. This makes noise. Loading it every single time, pull the trigger and everything. It's a noisemaker. Is that good? Not really. Not in a self-defense situation. You don't want people to know what you're doing. So it's not loaded right now. There's still a little bit. You have to push in to get this to work. And the biggest thing that is actually makes this a weak self-defense weapon is this right here. The gas canister. It is sitting here, yes. But how long has it been in here? Who knows? Once it's been here for a while, who knows? This thing might be empty at this point. We don't know that. When we shoot this and it's empty, that's it. It defeats the purpose of this as a self-defense weapon. It's also pretty heavy. Byrna, on the other hand, is much more lightweight. It actually looks like a toy compared to this. You can see both of them right here, side to side. But Byrna in itself has its own perks. One of which, right here. Once you put the canister in here, what you have to do is, as you shoot this once, it automatically punctures the canister. So the canister could sit here for a pretty long time and still be pretty fresh. Also, it got bigger, much more bigger projectiles. Almost twice the size of this one. So the difference is huge. Look how small this thing is. Look how big this is. That is a huge difference. This is going to be extremely painful compared to that. This is just small, a little tweet. That is a real ball. Now, one thing I really dislike about Byrnas is, yeah, they say you have to get them. You have to purchase them directly from them. That is not true. In fact, those canisters you can buy from other locations too if you can find them. But that is the only thing that you really have to get from them. But getting this from them, you don't have to. You can get some other .68, and you know what? It's not going to jam. It's going to work. They want you to buy directly from them, but you're going to save a fortune buying it from other sources. You can also create your own custom bullets, something you cannot actually do with regular paintball BB guns. And that's another thing. This is like super hard to open, but look at this. I made my own custom ammo. It's like a shotgun for the pellets being all over here. Only thing is, it's only projected by air, and therefore this is not an actual, not a firearm. It's not a firearm. People are like, is this a firearm? This is not a firearm. It is a BB gun. What is the difference? A firearm is projected by an explosive power. There is no explosive power in a BB gun. It's all coming up from the air, CO2 cartridge. Therefore, the item is not controlled in the United States. Because of that, anyone over the age of 18 can actually get one of those. So it is totally legal in the United States. The only thing that is not legal in our state of New York is to possess pepper pellets. But I'm not actually sure about the legality of it. But can you actually load this up with your own pepper and just use it. I have tried it on some targets and it wasn't effective. I mean, you could see the video in my other demonstration that this thing, I don't know, it just didn't seem to work that well. Maybe I used the wrong kind of powder that I found, and I just put it in those glass things and it just broke out. So pretty much this is probably the more recommended weapon for you. I like it more. It got a spell one over here that automatically comes in your purchase. You get 3 different tubes of ammo, bigger weapons, custom weapons, and overall, between those two, although this looks more realistic, you can just get this in black. It's going to look as realistic, but easier to use, much more lightweight, and I think this is much more powerful as well. Up to you to decide which one you want to get, but if you want to get the ultimate self-defense weapon, this one is designed in South Africa. Well, crime is a real problem. This is 100% made for one purpose: defend yourself. This one is more made to look realistic and have the practice of using a firearm without actually owning it or wasting a bunch of bullets, which are very expensive right now. Well, you got all the way to the end of the show. Which one I recommend for you to get? Quite possibly, probably the Byrna. I think it is 9 out of 10 stars. Ease of use, small, handy, and works like a charm. Lightweight, and specifically looks even like a taser. This specific color is pretty nice, and you can actually get this in a wide variety of different colors as well: black, brown, green, and even pink for girls. Yeah. And the great thing about this, lots of things. So this is like a 9 out of 10 star. Personally here, blowback action, really good. Looks ultimately like the real thing, realistic. It has a few things I dislike about this, so I would say this is 8 out of 10. It is still very good. Both of them I'm gonna set you back for a whopping amount of money, but in case you need something for you to use for a self-defense purpose, something that you can actually have with you, you don't have to have a permit or anything for you to take, or of course to do some target practicing, learn the safety and how to use an actual handgun without spending a huge amount of money. Well, really, you would think that Byrna would be the one for me to go. If you want to learn how to shoot, you want to do the realistic blowback action, this is not the gun for you. It's going to be this one, the PPQ Walther Max. This one is a great company, and it's like the real deal. Looks like real. There's a canister in here, and it can shoot. This one is actually empty. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something new, and if you did, make sure you sub, like, and check me out in the next episode of the Geek Tech Show.